Hello viewers, good morning. Welcome to Unacademy. Let's crack management exams English, which is your one-stop shop to crack CAT with India's largest learning platform. In this session, we'll be looking at time and distance basics. Before we get started, let me very quickly introduce myself. I'm Arjun Prasad, an engineer with 12 plus years of teaching experience, having taught 6,000 CAT aspirants, more than 6,000 CAT aspirants in the fields of quantitative aptitude, data interpretation, data sufficiency, and logical reasoning. I have trained more than 4,000 students to crack the campus recruitment exams. That said, during the course of this session, if you like the session, please do click on like, share, and subscribe to this YouTube Unacademy channel. Let's crack management exams English. And while subscribing, please use the code APUS. Okay. That said, let us look at conceptually what it means and what understanding we need to have as far as speed, time, and distance is concerned and the relationship between the three. Okay. Then we'll start solving the questions, and in tomorrow's session we'll be solving advanced questions. Today we'll be solving some basic questions. Tomorrow we'll be solving some advanced questions. Okay. And followed by that, on probably on Saturday, we'll have a marathon session running for 2.5 hours, covering the topics of time and work and time and distance. Is that clear? Okay. That said, see, as we know, there are a couple of concepts that we need to be thorough with. First is the relationship between speed, time, and distance traveled. Speed, distance traveled, time taken. If I consider these three entities, speed, distance traveled, and time taken, whenever at a constant speed to cover more distance, more time is needed if speed is constant. If S is constant, then distance traveled is directly proportional to the time taken. Is that clear? On the other hand, if time is in a constant time, if I am traveling at a higher speed, I'll be covering longer distance. That is, speed varies directly with the distance traveled when time taken is constant. And instead, if I consider the distance to be covered as a constant, then if I am covering a constant distance at a higher speed, if I am covering a constant distance, the same distance, if I am covering it at a higher speed, the time taken will be lesser. So as speed increases, the time taken decreases. Hence, speed varies inversely with the time taken when distance to be traveled is constant, when d is constant. Is that clear? By combining, we can say that using the constant of proportionality as 1, we can say that speed is always equal to distance traveled divided by time taken. Speed is always equal to distance traveled divided by time taken. Is that clear? Next, we should understand that speed is usually measured in terms of kilometers per hour, and it is also measured in terms of meters per second. 1 kilometer per hour, 1 kilometer per hour. 1 kilometer means 1000 meters. 1 hour means 3600 seconds. So 1000 by 3600, if I simplify that, I will end up with 5 by 18 meters per second. And 1 meter per second is equal to 18 by 5 kilometers per hour. And 1 meter per second is equal to 18 by 5 kilometers per hour. Is that clear? Next is a concept of relative speed. What do I mean by relative speed? Relative speed is nothing but the effective speed for the question that we are solving. Is that clear? Say for example, and don't ever let us not ever by heart as if two entities are moving in opposite direction, the relative speed is nothing but the sum of their absolute speeds. If they are moving in the same direction, relative speed is the difference of their absolute speed. Let us not by heart this, because if we start by hearting, then it creates a problem. I'll explain where it creates a problem. Let us say there are two people. Okay, there are two people who are standing, let's say 10 kilometers apart. Two people, A and B, are standing 10 kilometers apart. Speed of A is, let's say, 2 kilometers per hour, and speed of B is 1 kilometer per hour. So at this time, at the beginning, the distance between them is 10 kilometers. If this fellow is traveling at 2 kilometers per hour, after some time he would have covered, after 1 hour he would have covered 2 kilometers. In that same 1 hour, this fellow would have covered 1 kilometer. So effectively, the distance that has been covered is how much? 3 kilometers. What is the distance between them now? 7 kilometers. That means 3 kilometers has already been covered. That means the effective speed is 3 kilometers per hour. Why 3 kilometers per hour? 2 kilometers per hour by first person A and the 1 kilometer per hour by the second person B. Because they started at the same time, the relative speed in this case will be sum of their absolute speeds, which is nothing but 3 kilometers per hour. Now consider the other situation where both A and B are standing over here. Or let us say they are 10 kilometers apart itself. Let us say A and B are 10 kilometers apart. This is A, this is B. A is traveling towards B, B is traveling away from A at speeds of 2 kilometers per hour and 1 kilometer per hour respectively. So if both of them start at the same time, after 1 hour, this fellow would have covered 2 kilometers and this fellow would have covered 1 kilometer, which means essentially they have bridged the gap between them by only 1 kilometer. Therefore, what is the relative speed? Relative speed is nothing but 1 kilometer per hour. How did we get that one? It is 2 minus 1, the difference of their absolute speeds. Is that clear? Okay. Next, why I said we should not by heart. If the two entities are like a boat and a stream, if boat is traveling along with the stream, I cannot say that, okay, relative speed, both are traveling in same direction, so I will take the difference. And if when boat is moving against the stream, I will take the sum. That would be ridiculous. So for any two objects which do not impact each other, if they move in the same direction, relative speed is the difference. And if they move in the opposite direction, relative speed is the sum of their absolute speed. But if the two entities are impacting each other, then when they are moving in the same direction, it is the sum of their absolute speeds. When they are moving in opposite direction, it is the difference of their absolute speeds. Is that clear? And apart from that, the next concept that we need to understand is nothing but average speed. What do I mean by average speed? Average speed is nothing but the total distance traveled divided by total time taken. Average speed is nothing but total distance traveled divided by total time taken. Is that clear? Understood that? Okay. With that, let us get started with a few questions. The first question comes over. Arjun started from Hyderabad to Sikandrabad at time X and reached, extremely sorry. Sorry. And reached Sikandrabad at 8 p.m. on the same day, traveling at 20 kilometers per hour. Next day, he started from Sikandrabad at time X and reached Hyderabad at 7:30 p.m. on the same day, traveling at 25 kilometers per hour. Find the distance between Hyderabad and Sikandrabad. Okay, fine. See, what is constant here? Distance between Hyderabad and Sikandrabad is constant. Distance is constant. What is distance equal to? speed into time. So let us say onward journey from Hyderabad to Secunderabad at a speed of 20 kilometers per hour, he was traveling for Y hours. A return journey traveled at 25 kilometers per hour, but he took Y minus half hours. Why do I say Y minus half? Because he started at the same time on the first day and reached at 8 p.m. Next day he started at the same time and reached at 7:30 p.m. itself, which means he took half an hour less. Therefore, Y minus half. If I simplify this, what is it that I end up with? 5 4 times 20, 5 5 times 25. So this is nothing but 4y is equal to 5y minus half, or in other words 5y minus 4y. Y is equal to 5 by 2. Y is equal to 5 by 2. Isn't it? I'll get it as y is equal to 5 by 2, which is nothing but 2.5. Okay. What is he asking? He is asking the distance. What is the distance? Distance is always equal to speed into time. That is 20 times 20 kilometers per hour for 2.5 hours. 20 kilometers per hour for 2.5 hours gives me 50 kilometers. That clear? Therefore, my answer will be answer option B, which is 50 kilometers. Understood that? Okay. Let us look at the next question. Here, he says, Nirav commutes by cycle from his home to his office. Every day he starts from his home to office at the same time. On a day when he cycles at 8 kilometers per hour, he reaches office at 7:03 a.m. And on the day he cycles at 9 kilometers per hour, he reaches the office at 6:53 a.m. Find the speed at which he should cycle if he has to reach office at 7 a.m. Let us just represent this. This is his home. This is his office. He starts at the same time. If he travels at 8 kilometers per hour, he reaches at 7:03 a.m. Instead, if he travels at 9 kilometers per hour, he reaches at 6:53 a.m. Find the speed at which he should cycle if he has to reach the office at 7 a.m. If he has to reach the office at 7 a.m., at what speed should he travel? This is what is. Okay. See, distance is constant. Distance between home and office is constant. Distance is equal to speed into time taken. So at a speed of 8 kilometers per hour, let us say it takes 'T' hours. It takes 'T' hours. That means at a speed of 9 kilometers per hour, it takes T minus 10 minutes. T hours minus 10 minutes. Right? 10 minutes is same as 1/6 of an hour. T minus 1/6 hours. Where T is in terms of hours. Now, if I just simplify this, I will get 8T is equal to 9T minus 3 by 2, which means T is equal to 3 by 2. We got that T is equal to 3 by 2, isn't it? 3 by 2 hours. Okay. Now, at a speed of 8 kilometers per hour for 3 by 2 hours, that means this is the distance. This is the distance. He has to travel at a speed of X kilometers per hour, so that his travel time must get reduced by 3 minutes, because this T 3 by 2 hours is when he reaches at 7:03 a.m. But if he has to reach at 7 a.m., that means he has to take 3 minutes lesser. So that is T hours minus 3 minutes. That is T minus 1 by 20. What is T 3 by 2? Minus 3 minutes. 3 by 60. 1 by 20. 3 by 2 minus 1 by 20. Find the value of x. We just have to find the value of x over here. So if I simplify, what do I get? 2, 4 times is 8. Now, please say I am taking the simplification here, this side. Now, 4 3 times is 12 is equal to x into 30 minus 1, 29 by 20. If I simplify this, x will be equal to 12 into 20, 240 divided by 29 kilometers per hour. 240 by 29 kilometers per hour. Therefore, my answer is answer option B, which is 240 by 29 kilometers per hour. Is that clear? Are you able to understand that? And let me also tell you, at any point of time, if you get a doubt, please leave a comment on along the YouTube video that you are watching, or you can also leave a comment in the Telegram channel. Okay, and we will immediately respond to that. Is that clear? Okay. Let me move on to the next question. In this question, he says, starting from his home at a particular time, if Arjun travels 20% slower than his usual speed, he would reach his destination at 6 a.m. Instead, if he travels 20% faster than his usual speed, he reaches his destination at 5:40 a.m. Find the usual time he takes to reach his destination. Okay. Let us say I consider the speed to be in terms of kilometers per minute over here for this question to make my life simpler. I am considering speed in what units? In kilometers per minute. And I am considering time in terms of number of minutes. Now let us understand this. What is constant? Distance is constant. Okay. Let us say his usual speed is s kilometers per minute. Usual amount of time taken is t minutes. Now, instead of traveling at s kilometers per minute, if he travels 20% slower, that means if he is traveling at 0.8 s kilometers per minute, let us say he takes y minutes. Instead, if he travels 20% faster, that is 1.2 s, he will take 20 minutes lesser, that is into y minus 20. Because he reaches at 540 itself. Instead of reaching at 6, he reaches at 540. Take y minus 20. Isn't it? Now s is common, so s gets cancelled out. Now if I simplify this, I get it as 0.8y is equal to 1.2y minus 12 to 24. 20. In other words, 0.4y is equal to 24. That means y is equal to 24 by 0.4, that is 240 by 4, y is equal to 60. Just because you got the value of y as 60, do not mark your answer as none of these. No. Y is nothing but the amount of time taken at a speed which is 20% slower. At the usual speed, what it will be, we have to consider zero point 0.8 s into 60 is equal to s into x, which means x will be my answer because at his usual speed, he will take x minutes. S and s gets cancelled out. X is equal to 48. Therefore, the amount of time that he takes at his usual speed, Arjun takes 48 minutes to reach his destination at his usual speed. At his usual speed, he'll take 48 minutes to reach his destination. Is that clear? Getting that? Okay. Next, let us look at this question. Here, he says, distance between Kanyakumari and Katra stations is 3,600 kilometers. Two trains, Janata and Express, start from Kanyakumari to Katra at same time, traveling by the same route. Express train reached and Janata train reached Katra at 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. on a particular day, respectively. Had the Janata train travelled at thrice its original speed, it would have reached Katra at 9 a.m. same day instead of 8 p.m. Find the speeds at which Janata and Express trains travelled respectively in kilometers per hour. Okay. Now, let us understand this. What is constant? Distance is constant. That is nothing but speed of Janata into the time taken by Janata train is equal to 3,600. First thing. Next, speed of express into, see, Janata reached at 8 p.m. whereas express reached at 5 p.m. itself. That means x minus 3 hours is also equal to 3,600 kilometers. Instead, if Janata had travelled at thrice its initial speed, that is 3sj, into, instead of reaching at 8 p.m., it would have reached at 9 a.m. itself. That is like 8 to 8 a.m. would have been like 12 hours. So 11 hours. So x minus 11 hours is also equal to same thing, 3,600. From this, we have to find out what is SJ and what is SC. This is what we are supposed to find out. Okay. Not a big thing. We can find out. Just take a look at this. Sj into x is equal to 3 into Sj into x minus 11. Right? So this is same as Sj gets cancelled out. So x is equal to 3x minus 33. That is 2x is equal to 33. So x is equal to 33 by 2. X is equal to 33 by 2. So now if I have to find what is Sj, Sj will be nothing but 3600 divided by 33 by 2, which is nothing but 311 times 33. 2400 divided by 11. So Sj therefore will be equal to 2400 divided by 11. 2400 divided by 11 would be 11 2 times 22, 23, 24. It's like 20. 11 1 time 11 plus 9, 90. 11 8 times 88. 218 2 by 11 kilometers per hour. Sj is equal to 218 2 by 11 kilometers per hour. Should I find what is SC? Not really necessary, because by the answer options I can say therefore that my answer will be none of these. But any which ways, if you want to find SE, we can find SE as well, wherein you can substitute the value of x as 33 by 2 over here in this equation. Find x as 33 by 2 and then substitute and then figure out what is the value of SE you will get. Is that clear? Next, he says, Arjun travels from Bangalore to Mandya at 50 kilometers per hour, followed by Mandya to Ooty at 200 by 3 kilometers per hour. Distance between Mandya and Ooty is twice the distance between Bangalore to Mandya. Find the average speed of Arjun for his journey from Bangalore to Ooty. Let us say this is Bangalore. This is Mandya. This is Ooty. Let us say this distance is d kilometers. Then this distance will be 2d kilometers. We have to find the average speed. What is the average speed? Total distance. What is the total distance? 3d divided by total time. What is the total time? Time is equal to distance by speed. So he traveled d kilometers at a speed of 50 kilometers per hour. Then another 2d kilometers at an average speed of 200 by 3 kilometers per hour. Now if I simplify this, if I take the LCM, then the LCM will be 200. So 3 into 200 into d divided by 4 times 4d plus 6d, which is 10d. 4d plus 6d, which is 10d. D and d gets cancelled out, which is nothing but 600 divided by 10, which is equal to 60 kilometers per hour. Which is equal to 60. The important point to note over here is that this distance d does not really matter. So I can take any value that I wish to for d. I can take any value that I wish to for d. So in very simple terms, if I consider d as 100 kilometers, then also I would have got the same answer, right? So then it would have been 300 divided by 2 plus 4 plus 3, 7. So you simplify, you will get the answer as 60 kilometers per hour itself. Is that clear? Therefore, the answer is 60 kilometers per hour. Answer option B. Is that clear? Next, let us look at another question. Here, he says, Ajay starts from point X and reaches point Y in some time. If Ajay traveled at 105 kilometers per hour for 1/3 of travel time, at 120 kilometers per hour for 1/6 of travel time, and 90 kilometers per hour for the rest of the time, Then find his average speed for his entire journey given that x and y are 600 kilometers apart. Okay. We have to find the average speed, isn't it? That's okay. Find the average speed. Let me take the total distance. Distance is known as 600 kilometers. Divided by total time. Let us say total time is t. One third of t. He traveled one third of t. That is t by 3 hours. He traveled at a speed of 105. Plus one sixth of the travel time. That is t by 6 at a speed of 120 kilometers per hour. See, if I consider, should I make it? Can I make it a little bit more easy? Let us say total time considered is 60 hours. Then this will become 6t by 3, that is 2t hours gone. 6t by t, that is t hours gone. 2t plus t, 3t gone. I am left with another 3t hours. So 3t by 3t hours for at a speed of 90 kilometers per hour. This is going to give me the total distance, which is 600. Now that is as good as t means 3 to 105, 2 times is 210t plus 120t plus 270t is equal to 600, which means 200, 300, 400, 500, 500, 600t is equal to 600. That means t is equal to 1. He has asked the average speed. Average speed will nothing but be equal to d by 60, which is 600 by 6, which is equal to 100 kilometers per hour. Therefore, my answer would be 100 kilometers per hour. Is that clear? Understood that? Next, Ajay starts from point X and reaches point Y in some time. If Ajay traveled at 105 kilometers per hour for one third of the distance, 120 kilometers per hour for one sixth of the distance, and at 90 kilometers per hour for the remaining distance, then find his average speed for his journey given that x and y are 600 kilometers apart. So straight away, if I want to solve it, total distance 600 divided by total time I need. See, out of 600 kilometers, 200 kilometers at 105 kilometers per hour. Time is equal to distance by speed. Distance, which is 200 kilometers at 105 kilometers per hour. Plus one sixth of the distance, that is 100 kilometers at a speed of 120 kilometers per hour. Plus and remaining distance, which is nothing but 300 kilometers at a speed of 90 kilometers per hour. 300 by 90. This will be my answer. So this is like if I take the LCM 15, 6 times, 8 times, 6 times, 8 times, 7 times. 6, 8, 7. Hmm? 6, 8, and 7. 3, 4, 7, and 2. 6 into 4 into 7. Okay. 600 into 15 into 6 into 4 into 7. Whole thing divided by 15 7 times 105. 6 fours are 24. 24. 24 means 48. 4,800 plus 120. That means 15 into 4 into 2. 2 means 3. Means 21 plus 2100. 28 into 3. 28 into 3. 3 8400. This will be my answer. This will be nothing but equal to. I'll keep this as it is 600 into 15 into 6 into 4 into 7. Whole thing divided by 4,000, 5,000, 6,900, 7,300 plus 8,000, 7,300 plus 8,000, 15,300. Two zeros, two zeros gets cancelled. Next. 3, 5 times is 15. 3, 5 times is 3, 1, 51 times. This much. Next, 3, 17 times is 51. 3, 2 times is 6. So this is like 6 4 times 24, 24 7 times, 27 times is 140, 4 7 times is 28, 140 plus 28 is 168, 10 times is 1680 divided by 17 kilometers per hour. 1680 by 17 kilometers per hour, which is nothing but my answer option C, which is 1680 divided by 17 kilometers per hour. Is that clear? Okay. Next, he says, Nirav cycled from Bangalore to Ooty as follows. He traveled from Bangalore to Biddi at 10 kilometers per hour, Biddi to Mysore at 30 kilometers per hour, Mysore to Bandipur at 20 kilometers per hour, and Bandipur to Ooty at 20 kilometers. Given that distance between Bangalore and Biddi is 1/8 of the distance between Bangalore and Ooty, distance between Biddi and Mysore is 3/8 of distance between Bangalore and Ooty, and distance between Mysore and Ooty is equal to distance between Bangalore and Mysore. Find the average speed of Nirav for the entire journey. Okay, very good. Bangalore, Biddi, Mysore, Bandipur, Ooty. Okay. Let us say the total distance is 8d kilometers. Why do I consider it as 8d kilometers? Because I want to avoid fractions to the extent. 1/8. Bangalore to Biddi is 1/8 of this. That is D. Biddi to Mysore is 3/8 of this. Therefore, this will be 3D. That means I am left with another 4D. Half of this. Bandipur, we don't know where exactly it is. It may be wherever. So this entire thing is 4D. I'm traveling I'm traveling this part of the journey at 20 kilometers per hour, and this also at an average speed of 20. Therefore, I can consider the entire thing at a average speed of 20 kilometers. This entire thing was traveled at a speed of 20 kilometers per hour. This 3D was traveled at a speed of 30 kilometers per hour, and this D was traveled at a speed of 10 kilometers per hour. Very good. Now we have to find the average speed for the entire journey, which is nothing but total distance, which is 8d by total time. D at 10 km, D by 10 plus 3d by 30 plus 4d by 20. So this is what we have. So this is like 8d into 10, whole thing divided by d plus d plus 2d, which is nothing but 4d. 4d how many times? 4d 2 times will be 8d. 2 into 10, which is 20. Therefore, what is the average speed? 20 kilometers per hour, which is nothing but answer option A, which is 20 kilometers per hour. Is that clear? Next. Here he says X and Y are two cities 600 kilometers apart. Rohit started from X to Y at 120 kilometers per hour at 4 a.m. and Roshan started from Y to X at 80 kilometers per hour at 5 a.m. Find the difference in the distances traveled by Rohit and Roshan when they meet. Okay, we'll solve that, but before that, I just want to see something. Okay. So let us consider this is X and this is Y. 600 kilometers apart. Okay. See, this fellow started at what time? This fellow Rohit started at 4 a.m. at a speed of 120 kilometers per hour. And from here, Roshan started at 5 a.m. at a speed of 80 kilometers per hour. See, if Rohit started at 4 a.m. at 120 kilometers per hour, at 5 a.m., where will he be? At 5 a.m., he'll be somewhere over here. So this is the at 5 a.m. Rohit at 5 a.m. is over here. Total distance was 600, out of that 120 is gone. So this distance is nothing but 480 kilometers. Rohit is traveling in this direction, Roshan is traveling in this direction, 120 kilometers per hour, 80 kilometers per hour. That means every hour they come closer by 200 kilometers. 120 and 80. Every hour they come closer by 200 kilometers. In order for them to come closer and closer by 480 kilometers, if for 200 kilometers it is 1 hour, then 480 kilometers. For 400 kilometers it will be 2 hours. Okay. And for 80 kilometers, for 200 if it is 1, then for 1 it is 1 by 200. For 80, it will be 80 by 200, that is same as 8 by 20. 8 by 20. 4 by 5 hours. 4 by 5 hours means 0.8 hours. That is basically 2.8 hours. 4 by 5 is 0.8. Correct now? 0.8 hours. So 2.8 hours. So basically time taken 2.8 hours. 2.8 or 2.4? 200 kilometers in 1 hour. So 480 in how much time? 1 by 200 into 480 is 2.4 hours. Sorry. 2.4 hours. 2.4 hours. 2.4 hours. See, every hour from 5 a.m. to the point where they meet, every hour, Rohit is covering 40 kilometers per hour more. So, if 40 kilometers can be covered, extra distance covered is 40 kilometers in 1 hour, then in 2.4 hours, it is like 2.4 into 40, which is nothing but 24 into 4, which is 96 kilometers as the extra distance covered by Rohit. But to this 96, Rohit has, in addition to that, has also covered another 120 kilometers. Therefore, my answer would be 120 plus 96, which is nothing but 216 kilometers. 120 plus 96, which is nothing but 216 kilometers. Is that clear? Understood that? Let me explain it once again. This is X, this is Y. Distance is 600 kilometers between them. But Rohit started at 4 a.m. at a speed of 120 kilometers per hour. Therefore, at 5 a.m., he would be 120 kilometers away from X. So, the point from where he is to the point Y, the distance is 480 kilometers. Roshan started at 5 a.m. from Y towards X at a speed of 80 kilometers per hour. That means it is as good as Rohit and Roshan are two people who are standing, who are traveling towards each other, Distance between them 480 kilometers. One person traveling at 120, Rohit is traveling at 120 kilometers per hour, Roshan is traveling at 80 kilometers per hour. That means every hour they come closer to each other by 200 kilometers. If they have to come closer to each other by 480 kilometers, it is like 200 kilometers in 1 hour. 480 kilometers in how much time? In 2.4 hours. Every hour out of these 2.4 hours, every hour Rohit covers 40 kilometers more than Roshan. Therefore, in 1 hour, if it is 40 kilometers, in 2.4 hours, it will be 96 kilometers. So, Rohit has traveled 96 kilometers more than Roshan. In addition to that 96 kilometers, initially for the first 1 hour from 4 a.m. to 5 a.m., he has covered another 120 kilometers. Therefore, how much is the distance covered by Rohit more than that covered by Roshan? 120 plus 96, which is nothing but 216 kilometers. Is that clear? Okay. Now, let us take a look at this question. He says, Tippu Express started from Bangalore to Mysore at 3 a.m. and reached Mysore at 7 a.m. While Odeyer Express started from Mysore to Bangalore at 4 a.m. and reached Bangalore at 8 a.m. At what time did the two trains cross each other? If I represent it, this is like Bangalore. This is Mysore. One train starts at 3 a.m. and reaches at 7 a.m. while the other starts at 4 a.m. and reaches at 8 a.m. See, if you observe, starting at 3 a.m., reaching at 7 a.m., 4 hours. Starting at 4 a.m., reaching at 8 a.m., 4 hours. That clearly means that the speed of both the Tippu and Wadayar Express are equal. The speed of Tippu Express and Wadayar Express are equal. If they are traveling at an equal speed, see if this is the starting at 3 a.m. if it is over here, at 4 a.m. where will it be? Let me consider this entire distance as 4d kilometers. 4d kilometers in 4 hours. So in 1 hour, d kilometers is gone, isn't it? So therefore, the Tippu Express is over here at 4 a.m. and it reaches at 7 a.m. This Wadayar Express started at 4 a.m. It will reach here at Bangalore at 8 a.m. So at what point of time will it reach this point? It will reach at 7 a.m. That means if you if you turn a blind eye to this part, just turn a blind eye to this particular portion, you will see that the distance is the same, the time taken is the same, which means the speed is also the same. Therefore, when will they meet? They will meet exactly at the midpoint. Midpoint of what? 4 a.m. and 7 a.m. What is the midpoint of 4 a.m. and 7 a.m.? 3 hours, so 1.5 hours. That means at 5:30 a.m. they will meet each other. So therefore, at 5:30 a.m. they will meet each other. Is that clear? Therefore, they'll meet each other at 5:30 a.m. Understood that? Next, again, in this case, he says, Tippu Express started from Bangalore to Mysore at 3 a.m. This is Bangalore. This is Mysore. Tippu Express starts at 3 a.m. and reaches at 7 a.m. While Wadayar Express started from Bangalore to Mysore at 4 a.m. and reaches Mysore at 8 a.m. Just look at it, distance is same, amount of time taken is also the same, therefore the speeds are also equal. One train started at 3 a.m., the other train starts at 4 a.m. with the same speed. With the same speed, if they are traveling, then both the trains will be 1 hour apart from each other. There will be a certain distance apart from each other. Continuously throughout the entire journey, they will always be apart, right? So, the time when Tippu Express is at a particular point, to reach the same point, Wadayar Express will reach the same point after 1 hour. So, at any point of time, at any point between Bangalore and Mysore, this is what happens. Therefore, in this entire journey, Tippu and Wadayar Express cannot meet each other. Therefore, my answer is answer option D, which says the trains never crossed each other. Is that clear? Understood that? Next, let us look at the next one. He says, I see some people in the live chat. Please do leave a comment. So if you have any query, please do leave a comment if you have any query. Okay. Thank you. Now, let me continue. Here he says, Tippu Express started from Bangalore to Mysore at 3 a.m. and reached Mysore at 8 a.m. Okay. Bangalore, Mysore. Tippu Express started at 3 a.m. and reached Mysore at 8 a.m. And Wadayar Express started from Mysore to Bangalore at 2 a.m. and reached Bangalore at 9 a.m. Now, if you observe, this here, Tippu Express took 5 hours, while Wadayar Express took 7 hours, isn't it? To make my life easy, let me consider the distance between Bangalore and Mysore as 35 kilometers. Distance between Bangalore and Mysore is 35 d. In fact, we can consider it as 35 units itself. But let me consider it as 35 d kilometers. Not an issue at all. If Tippu Express can cover 35 d kilometers in 5 hours, then the speed of Tippu Express is 70 kilometers per hour. And speed of Wadayar Express will be 5 d kilometers per hour. Is that clear? See, Wadayar Express started at 2 a.m. Therefore, at 3 a.m., distance between Tippu Express and Wadayar Express. Distance between Tippu Express and Wadayar Express will be 30 d kilometers. So if they have to bridge 30 d kilometers at speeds of 70 and 5d towards each other, means at 12 d kilometers per hour, that means these many hours later. What is this? D and D gets cancelled out. 12 to 24. 6 put a point. So 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours from where? 2.5 hours from 3 a.m. 2.5 hours from 3 a.m. is what time? 2.5 hours from 3 a.m. will be 5:30 a.m. Therefore, at what time did the two trains cross each other? At 5:30 a.m. the two trains crossed each other. Is that clear? Got it? Next, let us look at this. Here, he says, again, there's Bangalore. Here, Mysore is over here. Tippu Express starts at 3 a.m. reaches at 8 a.m. Wadayar Express starts at 2 a.m. from Bangalore itself towards Mysore and reaches at 9 a.m. Okay, and reaches at 9 a.m. Wonderful. Now, what it means is that let me consider the same way. Let me consider the total distance as 35d for the same reason, because 5 hours taken by Tippu and 7 hours taken by Wadayar. So LCM of 5 and 7, 35d kilometers. If Wadayar Express started at 2 a.m., so basically speed of Tippu is nothing but 70 kmph, and the speed of Wadayar is nothing but 5d kmph. Because Wadayar Express started at 2 a.m., at 3 a.m. it would be already 5d kilometers apart. At 3 a.m. distance between Tippu and Wadayar Express is 5d kilometers. Now my answer will be I need to bridge this 5d kilometers because both of them are traveling in the same direction at the relative speed or effective speed will be 7d minus 5d, which is 2d kilometers per hour. So after these many hours, that is nothing but after 2.5 hours. What is 2.5 hours? From where 2.5 hours? From 3 a.m. Again, my answer, my friends, will be 5:30 a.m. Again, the answer will be 5:30 a.m. Is that clear? Okay. Next, let us look at this question where he says Nirav and his son Om started running from front gate of PSN campus to back gate of PSN. Their running speeds were in the ratio 8:1. On reaching back gate, Nirav turned back and started running towards the front gate and met his son Om at a point which is 200 meters away from the front gate of PSN. What is the distance between front and back gate of PSN? Let us say this is the front gate, this is the back gate. Let us say the distance between is nothing but, let us say this distance between these front gate and back gate is like a d meters. Let us say distance is d meter. Now, this both of them, Nirav and Om, started at the same time. Nirav goes this way, turns back, comes and meets. This is the path traveled by Nirav. His son Om covered only this much. Son Om covered only this much. Okay. Given that the speeds are in the ratio 8:1, given that the speeds are in the ratio 8:1, distance covered will also be in the ratio 8:1 if the time taken is the same. In the same time, because both of them started at the same time and after some time they met each other. So they have traveled for the same amount of time. When t is constant, how does speed vary with the distance? Speed varies directly with the distance. So let us say distance traveled by, so what is the distance traveled by Nirav? D plus D minus 200 distance traveled divided by distance traveled by Om 200 is equal to the ratio of their speeds, which is nothing but 8:1. Simplify, get the value of D. What do we end up with? We'll end up with 2D is equal to 1800. That means D is equal to 900. Just because you got the answer 900, don't go and mark 900. Yeah, I see 900, therefore I mark. Then you will come out with a smile, even after doing all this hard work. Units are important. This is what? This is 900 meters because we have considered this 200 in terms of meters. So I am considering D in terms of meters. Therefore, D is 900 meters. If D is 900 meters, my answer is not answer option C. Instead, it is answer option B, which is 0.9 kilometer. Is that clear? Understood that? Okay. Now let us look at another question where he says Amar and Bharat started simultaneously from cities A and B towards B and A respectively. After meeting at a point between A and B, Amar took 80 minutes to reach B while Bharat took 180 minutes to reach A. After how much time in minutes since they started their journey, they met each other? Okay. This is point A. This is point B. Amar starting from here. Bharat is starting from here. Let us say they met over here. Amar needs another 80 minutes and Bharat needs another 180 minutes. After how much time since they started did they meet? This is what we are supposed to find out. Let us say this entire total distance was is D. Therefore, let us, if I say this is x meters, this will be D minus x meters, given that the total distance is D meters. And please understand, I'm going to consider the speeds in terms of meters per minute. So please understand, speed is considered in terms of in units of meters per minute. Okay. Now, we can directly use the formula. I'll give you the formula at the end, but the formulas always come with constraints, so we have to be careful. Let us solve it in the traditional way so that it will be more helpful. Let me consider speed of Amar as SA and the speed of Bharat as SB. Okay. Now, time taken by Amar to cover x meters is equal to the time taken by Bharat to cover d minus x. If t is constant, time is equal to what? Distance divided by speed. That is x meters divided by speed of Amar is equal to x minus d minus x meters divided by speed of b. This is one part of it. Next, we know that speed of A is equal to, we have to find this value. Okay. What is this equal to? How many minutes? This was what we are supposed to do. Speed of A. See, A is able to cover d minus x meters in 80 minutes. And B is able to cover x meters in 180 minutes. Now, if we consider it in this particular fashion, so in place of x, I can write it as 180 SB. by SA. In place of D minus X, I can write it as 80 SA by SB. So we end up with SA squared by SB squared, or SA by SB, will be equal to square root of 180 by 80, which is nothing but 9 by 4, which is nothing but 3 by 2. Is that clear? It is nothing but 3 by 2. SA by SB is nothing but 3 by 2. Okay. We have to find what is X by SA equal to. What is X by SA equal to? X by SA is same as 180 SB by SA. Therefore, my answer is nothing but 180 into SB by SA, which is 2 by 3, which is nothing but after 120 minutes, they met each other. Which means after 120 minutes, they met each other. Therefore, my answer is. You might say, why do all this when we know that if two people started in opposite directions from the respective points, if it's like A starts from point A towards point B at the same time B starts from point B towards point A, and after meeting A takes A minutes and B takes B minutes, then the ratio of their speeds varies inversely with the square root of the amount of time that they take after meeting to reach their destination. Therefore, SA by SP will be equal to square root of SA by SB will be equal to square root of 180 by square root of 80. That is square root of 180 by 80, which is directly I can write it as 3 by 2. Yes, you are right. But we cannot always understand that the constraints are going to be the same. Instead, if the starting times are different, or let us say after meeting, after about half an hour, where each of them will be, if things of that nature are given, then we cannot directly go by this constraint and apply it. It becomes difficult. Therefore, we should also understand the science behind what exactly has been done. How did the person come up to the conclusion that in this type of a scenario, the speed of a person varies inversely with the square root of the amount of time that the person takes? No. So unless we understand that, it becomes difficult. I hope we have solved that and we have understood that with the help of this example question. Is that clear? And we have a lot more to be solved under the topic of time and distance. Okay. Today we just understood the relationship between speed, distance traveled, and time taken. And added to that, we understood the concept of relative speed. And we solved some number of basic questions. Tomorrow, I'll be solving advanced questions on time and distance. That is tomorrow, 26th June, 8 a.m. onwards. Unacademy YouTube channel. Let's crack management exams English. I hope you benefited from this session. If you liked this session, please do click on like, share, and subscribe. And while subscribing, do not forget to use the code APUS. And when you subscribe, what is it that you get? Before that, I would also like to keep you informed that I will be handling a lot many sessions on the Unacademy platform as well. So it is good if you are able to subscribe onto the Unacademy platform as well. So if you subscribe onto the Unacademy platform, if you want to subscribe over there, you can just go to unacademy.com/@arjun.r.prasad. Okay, you can just look at it. unacademy.com/@arjun.r.prasad. You can just go there and you can click on. This is my profile. So if you look at, there will be a follow button. If you click on the follow button, you will be able to get the notifications of every session that I'm handling. Okay, and you can subscribe as well. And when you subscribe, please do not forget to use the code APUS. When you are subscribing, do not forget to use the code APUS. Arjun Prasad Unacademy subscribe. Is that clear? Okay. So by subscribing, what do you get? This might be your question. When you subscribe, you get access to all the daily live classes where you can chat with your educator, you can engage in the discussions, you can ask your doubts, answer the polls. It simulates the classroom method of teaching. You can attempt live tests and quizzes. The course will be delivered in a structured way. And importantly, one subscription gives you unlimited access for that duration to all the educators on the platform. Okay. You get access to the live classes, batch courses, and Unacademy provides you the advantage wherein you can choose the schedule that works for you without language being a barrier. You can learn anytime, anywhere. You can interact with your educator, get your doubts cleared, answer the live polls, and for every test that you attempt, you will be provided with a detailed report and analysis, which helps you do your own strengths and weakness analysis. You will have access to all the PDFs and learning materials, and the subscription comes at a extremely reasonable investment of just rupees 788 per month for 24 months. That is, if you take it. Instead, if you take it for 12 months, it will be at the rate of 1313 rupees per month. So it is extreme value for money if you go in for a 24-month subscription. Is that clear? So the other way of looking at it is, to a 12-month subscription, let's say to that, you added to that, you just take one more month subscription. You end up with a 24-month subscription. But in this case, you would have got only 13 months. But if you go with this approach, you get for 24 months. So it is extreme worthwhile investment to go in for a 24-month subscription. And this 788 rupees per month is after you get a discount of 10%. And in order to get this discount of 10%, do not forget to use the code APUS. The code to be used is APUS. Is that clear? Is that clear, friends? The code to be used is APUS. So hope to see you all on the Unacademy platform. Hope you enjoyed the session. Please do click on like, share and subscribe. And while subscribing, do not forget the code APUS. Is that clear? So this is Arjun Prasad signing off for today. So wish you all a good day and hope to see you soon on Unacademy platform. Thank you guys.